has an amazing master plan, which he explains in detail all over the Bible. A plan that sees him filling the earth with his glory. However, in order to understand why we need this plan, we need to understand what happened in the beginning and the origin of sin. The Bible opens with these words. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. We read how God creates everything, including humans, who he created in his own image. And then in Genesis 1 verse 31, it says that God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. The plan began with everything being very good. However, God didn't create robots, he created people with choice. Love can only be expressed if you're given a choice. And so God asked Adam and Eve to look after the garden he had planned for them. And he gave them a choice. He said, do not eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The choice to obey or disobey was up to them. However, Adam and Eve chose to disobey God's command. And they took of the fruit of the tree and they ate it. And in that act, sin entered into the world. We read in 1 John 3 verse 4 that whoever sins is breaking the law, because sin is breaking the law. Adam and Eve broke God's law, and so by definition, they sinned. And the result was that sin entered the world. As Paul explains in Romans 5 verse 12, as by one man sin entered the world, and death by sin. And so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. What was very good was now marred. A great division was created between God and humankind. The prophet Habakkuk would say this thousands of years later about God. Your eyes, God, are too pure to look on evil. You cannot tolerate wrongdoing. And so humankind could no longer live in the presence of God's garden. And we read that God drove Adam and Eve out, and he placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden cherubim in a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. Sin had entered the world. A massive separation gaped widely between God and humankind, and that is where the story could have ended. Humankind forever separated, unless God put in place a plan to reconcile us back to him. And that is exactly what he did.